What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at $21,250. We're up about 10%. And what we're seeing today that we haven't seen in a while, guys, is a nice bounce. And we're up about 10% now, which we haven't seen that in quite a while in one day. So it is nice to see some volume coming in. But what we're going to do here, so we don't get carried away, we're going to step back. We're going to look on the 1 week time frame. We're going to look on the 1 day, and we're going to work our way in. And we're going to look at things that need to happen here in terms of shifting that trend so we can get it back to the upside and try to make this some type of higher low for us or double bottom, looking at this on the weekly time frame. So if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's always appreciated. And we're going to dig into this. So first of all, guys, this is going to be the weekly time frame. So each candle is going to represent a week when we're stepping back. Main area we need to hold here, if we turn on our pivot points, it's going to be that 17,567. Now what we're looking at here, we have an area to potentially play off of. And this is the area for me that needs to hold. And this is roughly going to be at about $19,417. So this needs to be our higher low, or pretty close to double bottom there, whatever you want to call it. But we need to get this higher low. We need this to hold. If this ends up breaking and we close below that, that's going to be a red flag for me. Okay, but if we can get this follow through and it can come on above average volume, then we can look up to some higher levels here, potentially around $23,400. Then it'd be up to around that $27,600. Main thing we still have to remember though, guys, even though we're seeing such a nice bounce right now, we are still trading below our 200-week moving average. We're trading below our 12-week EMA. We're below our 26 EMA, and we're below our 50 moving average. You can see them all right here just pressing down upon us. So that's why it's so important that this area holds. Otherwise, we're probably going to potentially just have a breakdown. Now, this doesn't mean that there isn't trading opportunities, because what I want to do here, we're going to take a look at like the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame as well and show you some potential setups if you were looking to trade. So next, what we're going to do here is get into the 1-day time frame. So on the 1-day time frame, we have not had a 1-day trend change yet, and that's going to be important for us. So as we're looking at this here, guys, we created a lot of space when we got this bounce, really nice bounce. So now what we're going to be looking for once we do cool down, we're going to be looking to see where we set this higher low and how deep the retracement is. If it's a real deep retracement below that 0.618 or so, then most likely we'll get into an equilibrium pattern. If it's only to that 0.382 or so, it could be a nice little flag, and then we could push up into some higher levels here. So I'm going to be watching that retracement level very carefully and what type of volume comes on that retracement level once it does happen. If you weren't in a position right now, like I'm not in Bitcoin here in terms of trading, guys, I would be patiently waiting for that retracement. I wouldn't want to chase up here on a 10% day when we still have a lot of the downward movement on the longer term time frames. So taking a look at this now, if we get into the 4-hour time frame, give you an example here. So you can see here, guys, how we've gotten really nice and extended here, going up to that 200 moving average, which is also an important area. That's going to be 21,630, but we're going to be looking for that nice retracement and where we land, and to see if you can get a higher low in that area. So say you wanted to play something like this, getting a little overextended now. We're at 78 on the relative strength on the 4-hour time frame. You would patiently wait for that retracement. Once you find that level, guys, just even doing a fib like this is something I like to do right here. So say we did top out in this area, you'd have to go to where we topped out. Okay, be looking back, that 0.382 could be an area for you, and that could be at 20,276. Another area where we potentially could have a lot of support from this area here, you can see all the pivot points, could potentially be that 19,907. Then the last area I'd look at is 19,581, but it's going to show how much strength depending on how deep this goes for us here. So I always like to look at those Fibonacci's. They're really going to help you out. Then if we get into the 1-hour time frame, you can see we're just grinding up here, trading well above our 12 and our 26 EMA, up above our 200 and our 50 moving average. So this is a really nice move, guys. I like to see it coming in on some volume. I would just like to wait patiently and see what type of retracement and what type of volume it's on. That's the way that I like to trade. I like to trade those retracements. So yet again, back to this 4-hour time frame. If we take a look, guys, I like to use examples here. Let me get the pivots off. So say something like this here, guys. We just use this, and this is just where we're mostly chopping sideways. But on the 4-hour, when you take a look here and you use your fib, we came right back to that 0.618 right here, and then there was your move. So basically what I'm talking about here is if you are to play a move like this, and we get back to that 0.618, you see a nice bullish candle here, just like that, with some volume behind it. You would enter, and then you would put your stop loss underneath this area. I like to give it some wiggle room, so I go down a little bit more. But basically what that's saying is this is either going to be the next move, and we're at least going to push up into an equilibrium, and you can get a nice little trade out of that if you exit quickly, or we're just going to roll over, and then you'd be stopped out of your trade. So I like those low risk, high reward. So say you're taking something like this, guys, just to give you an example. And now while we've been in this bear market, I want to do examples and teach you as much as I can, just from my experience. So say we took a long position. Okay, so we entered on that candle. We're going to put our stop right in that area. We would have been targeting probably right up into this area here, guys. That would be a 2.17 risk to reward. Excuse me. I typically like a 3-to-1. If we did go up to that previous high that we had, that would put you at a 4.06 risk to reward. So these are the type of things I'm looking for. Say it's on the 4-hour time frame like that. Stop loss is relatively close. If we go lower, I want to be out of the trade anyways, but there's a nice potential that you could get a good reward. Okay, and those are the type of things that I like to look for. And I always use a stop loss. Guys, that's one thing that's really important, is using those stop losses if you're taking a trade. Otherwise, in this space 24 hours a day, a lot of craziness can happen, news can break, and things can just roll over on you. So whenever you're looking for these here, also for the 4-hour time frame, one thing I like to play, just to give you a little bit more of an example here, I like to go into the 15-minute time frame. And on the relative strength, you can put it around like 32 right here, and we'll add an alert, and that's going to be at 32 RSI. We're going to create that because a lot of times what I found out, and this is from Chartman Dan, one of the few guys I listen to on YouTube, whenever that 15-minute, if you had a big explosive move like this, when you hit that 15-minute oversold condition on the relative strength, many times that'll mark the higher low on the 4-hour time frame. And then you can get that next move to the upside, put your stop loss below that. So I like to look for that first, after a big explosive move, first 5-minute oversold condition, and then it's going to be that 15-minute. And that's one thing that I've really learned from him that's been extremely helpful, is that when you see one of these big moves and you play the 5-minute oversold, if that does work, that's marking the 1-hour higher low. And then say you do a 1-hour oversold condition after a move like this, that would mark your daily higher low, and it just kind of works its way out. But it's pretty interesting stuff, and it can really help you just setting that alert at the RSI on the 15-minute time frame there and evaluating what price is doing there. You don't just enter blindly. You look to see what's happening with the candles. Are you finding support? What's going on? But many times that can mark your 4-hour high or low once you get that pullback, and then you can play to the upside there. So it's nice to see some volume coming in here, guys. I still want to be patient. I'm going to look at that 15-minute if there's a good opportunity, maybe do a small little trade, something like that. But I'm still not going crazy right now. I want to see a lot more proof, and I want to see how we close for the week is going to be also important for us. So if you get some from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care.